Thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, also a warm welcome from Konstantin and my side. What you see here is a short presentation of a use case we are at the moment realizing, we have it realized, and why we are doing this. Because our vision, our mission is to deliver the right information at the right place, at the right time, to the right people. And we as Siemens industry, as Siemens digital industry, decided that the only standard with that is possible is iiRDS, Intelligent Information Request and Delivery Standard. And so we decided that this standard is the preferred delivery standard for Siemens digital industries. What I want to show you is a certain use case. So we have different missions to fulfill our goal. One of the projects we are using here is to use iiRDS as an internal data format to fill up a content delivery platform that we need for our customers. What is the use case behind this? We have a so-called ecosystem. It's called edge ecosystem. That means this is technology edge devices that are exactly on the border between the OT and the IT. So trying up to get information, to get data, to make analysis of the big data that are occurring in a factory, in a shop floor, to draw out informations like predictive maintenance and so on, and to deliver this information also in the IT world into the cloud. And this ecosystem, like the name is, it's an open ecosystem. That means on these platforms, not only Siemens applications are running, but also other vendors, programmers, engineers, customers, they have the chance to develop applications and to run this on this based Docker architecture, on this ecosystem, on this edge application. So also to customize, to fulfill special customer, their own requirements with analyzing the data that is coming from the shop floor. And that is the problem. So not only we are delivering information in that content delivery portal, you see in the middle, also other vendors, other people are delivering data into this portal. And not only we at Siemens, so also we at Siemens, it's not to be honest, it's not one we, it's a lot of we's. So we have a lot of different companies, we have a lot of different business units. They have all their own information offices, sometimes different content management systems. So we try to find a way to deliver all this information in a standardized format into this central provisioning portal, and then to fulfill from this other platforms, like, for example, this edge platforms, and to make it accessible by customers. So let me take you a little bit on a journey starting from our content management system and ending in the information hub. Our content management system is called SIPS Plus, Siemens Industrial Publishing System. It's based on Schema SD4. We bought Schema SD4, the core, a lot of years before, and we developed this system to fulfill our really big, different needs. The content management system is based on XML, so we have an XML structure behind that. We are writing the content topic-based in XML. What also helps us at this case is we are writing most of the topics with key questions. So the key question allows the person who is writing the content allows to think about what I want to tell our customer with that topic. And only that has to be in the topic, not less, not more. So we use this as a content creation. We have an XML interface, so we are able also to generate out of our content management system an XML file. And what we are doing with this XML file, we worked together with different vendors. We had one vendor that wrote us a mapper. So we made a mapping from our XML structure into iiRDS structure. That was not rocket science. This was a work from a few weeks. But then we found out, okay, we have a lot of metadata today in our content management system, but we had the feeling this metadata were not enough. And we are thinking about a way how to add more metadata, how to generate more metadata that were at the origin not there existing. And then we took a linguistic system. It is CLAD, the linguistic engine. We misused the linguistic engine of CLAD to make an analysis of the XML content, to make an analysis which metadata we can draw out with linguistic systematic. So it's also based on a KI, artificial intelligence, that is behind there. And it worked better than we thought it would. We were able to put about on 80% on the topics additional metadata. Metadata that are very helpful in the iiRDS content. You know, iiRDS has such things like component, product feature, product function, that is, in our opinion, quite important for the people also to make a selection of the right content. So as more metadata as you use, as less generic the metadata will be, and as more precise will be the answer of a system with a question you are asking. I want to have the information about what I have to do. My machine has failure number 116.8. Tell me what is the reason of this failure, of this error, and tell me how to deal with this error. So we brought then everything this together. We are using also additional plus meta. You have heard Jan Wilvermann also to check the metadata, if the metadata are right there, and also to have the possibility to add maybe more metadata. And then we had this iiRDS package with this metadata file in it. And we are putting this into the delivery portal. And as the delivery portal, we used, I think maybe some of you guys had the chance to watch Markus Wiedenmeier with C-REX yesterday. And we are putting this into the C-REX portal that allows also to integrate very easily PDF documentation from other vendors. So some people, some companies, some programmers, they are not working with content management systems. They are working on PDF file-based. I think most of the companies, they have the problem that also if they are using itself the content management system, they have the problem that some of their vendors are delivering the information based on a PDF file. So that is just a screenshot of our platform for our edge system. We will take a look. We will see it live. Konstantin will show it live how the system is working. So this system is live. It's accessible also from outside. The system is on an, let me say, prototype state. So we are, you can change. We are discussing at the moment with the product management some more details, with some of the vendors some more details. And this is working. And keep in mind, this is only one of the projects we are driving at the moment to switch to implement the iiRDS. Of course, it's not easy to do this. We will finish with that not this year, I'm quite sure also not next calendar year, but we are on the way to that. We made the right, I think, the right decision. If you like, we have also, for some of our products, we have yet available iiRDS packages. If you are working with Simatic, you know the industry online support, and then in the S7-1500 system manual, there you find a download button. You are able to download also the iiRDS packages. If you do this, please give us feedback also about that. What you see here is this Edge platform. You see here, based on the different apps, the information container, of course, as in a normal as in the standard content delivery portal, you are able to select one of these containers, you click on read more, and you will find the information based on this application. But to be honest, some customers, they don't know which application are running on the Edge platform. So they want to have the possibility to search over all these packages. There's a package with some cryptic name, and to find that this is the application they need at the moment is not too easy. So, and that is, I think, one of the big possibles, the big advantages of iiRDS is that you are able to transform, to transmit a lot of metadata to make the content much easier accessible. So I am a customer. Who the hell, which application I'm using? I do not know. I want to know anything about which devices do we have, which information I have a device. So I take the search button. I'm just entering device. It's a IntelliSense. So when entering, you have seen the word. So the hint list is occurring. What you see here is on the right side some filters. We will take a look a little bit closer on this. And on the left side, you see the topics that we found by the delivery portal. So the topics itself, they are very rough. So, but we have a chance to establish a cascading style sheet there. So the appearance of these topics, the appearance of the complete portal, the appearance of the content of the topic is completely free definable. What you see also here is some metadata the topics are bearing. You see they have the green one, this is company, the red ones and the blue ones, and how to get access to this metadata. So it's about, you see, 318 hints. So device found 318 topics. So which topic is the right one? So let's take a look. First of all, of course, at the moment, there's only from Siemens information in there. If there would be some third and parties, you would find all the parties in there. So we would select Siemens. So of course, it's quite the same hint number, because everything is from Siemens at the moment. And the next point is we will try to get a little bit more closer. And for that, we're using the subject. You see here, you have different subjects, FAQ, famous asked questions. You have tutorials, how-tos, conformities, architecture. So we are talking here not only about, to give you an outlook, not about technical information. We are talking about more like certificates, for example, CE certificates, UKCMA certificates, some more data, graphic data, engineering data. All this is transferable and transportable via iiRDS. So I want to know which examples do we have about that. And you see behind the examples, only 28 topics are meeting this prerequisition, Siemens and examples. But to be honest, I don't want to have so many topics about the examples. So let's take a look, Konstantin, at the features. Okay, now it's been more interesting because I am a C# programmer. I am not interested in Python. I'm just interested in C#, so I'm choosing C#. So I have now 6 topics that the content is about Siemens content, a Siemens application. It's about the examples in C#. And then I can go into one topic, or I can say, 6 is too much for me. I want to have a much more technical overview. So Konstantin, where we find this? So you see a little bit now of the difference.
No, it's not available.
Yeah.
We can just switch to the topic and then we can go through the documentation.
Okay, so let's go into one topic. What you see also here is the ENUS. That means this content is in English, in American English written. So if you have here the topics in more languages, you would see them also. And to select a language is also one filter more you can use to find this topic. Yeah. So we have an installing the application, and you are in the middle of the C# area, and you are able to find exactly the information that you want. And this is not only a content delivery portal, I call it much more a content delivery hub, because it is possible for the developer who are writing their own application to make via a REST API and request onto this platform. So they can, if a developer is programming a special function, he is able to make a search request that relates exactly to the function and to see in his application the content that is delivering this portal. So that's also the reason why the style is not so important, because normally the information you will see is not here in the content delivery platform. Of course, you can do it. You can, if you do not have a clue which application, you can use this for search. But the other point is you are able to access from any application, from the own website of the developer or wherever, to access to the information that are placed here, that is placed here, that is here available over the complete ecosystem edge, semantic edge. So hopefully I'm just in time. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your interest. Questions, please, afterwards together. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Markus and Konstantin. I would now like to welcome, they bring their own, thanks. I would now like to welcome to the floor Achim Steinacker from Empolis Information Management and Ulrike Parson from Parson AG. They will give us some insights into their project. And yeah, we're just getting set up here. And to our online audience, of course, just a quick reminder. I know that we had a couple of technical issues, but I think they can hear us now. They're with us. And if you have any questions, content related, and please type them into the chat section. Thank you. Ulrike, Achim, the floor is yours.
Thank you.
Enjoy.
Just searching for the right socket. Just a sec. Hast du den schon angeschlossen?
Sorry?
Have you connected this one?
I tried to.
I tried. Okay. There you go. Thank you very much. Welcome to the last session in this slot and to the last story, so to say. And we are going to talk about iiRDS in the digital information twin. And my name is Ulrike Parson. I'm the CEO of a company called Parson. With our main location is in Hamburg, and we are service providers for technical communication.
And my name is Achim Steinacker from Empolis. We are a vendor for authoring systems and delivery.
Exactly. And if you look at our iiRDS personas, steering committee working group. So this is our official roles there. So why are we talking about a digital information twin? We have a lot of changes that come also to our world in the era of digitalization. because there are a lot of new touch points where technical documentation is required at. So this is chatbots that answer user questions. These are product configurators where you select a product, but maybe you also want to learn something about the features, and this content comes from the technical documentation. We do have smart glasses that support service technicians when they fix a certain error, when they do maintenance work and they want to see the service and maintenance instructions in their glasses. We have a lot of self-service portals coming up, and the portal that Siemens just showed is one of those portals that are around. And a lot of companies are working on digital twins, meaning a digital representation of their products with all the services, components, interfaces, and also the documents in a digital representation of the product. So that also means that we are no longer able to deliver documents to the users. Content is retrieved at a touch point via a search or a filtering, as we just saw. It's not about retrieving documents and then finding the right passage in the document. That doesn't work any longer. But that also means we need metadata to retrieve content at the touch points, because you need to know which product you're searching for. You need maybe the application knows who you are. Are you a service technician? Are you an end user? And the touchpoint mostly also knows in which status the machine is. So is there an error? Is it in maintenance mode? Is it in operation mode? So the machine knows that. So we need a lot of metadata at the touch points, metadata about the information itself. For example, is the user trying to retrieve information on troubleshooting? But we also need metadata describing the products. So we need different classes of metadata at the touch points, and this metadata must be integrated at the touch points and be available there. This clicker is too much for me.
Sorry, also.
Technology.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know, but that was the PC, not the clicker, actually. Okay, so our idea and the solution is that, as I said, we have a lot of metadata at the touch points, but there's actually no reason why you need all this metadata in your content management system, because this metadata comes from different sources. This comes from the product information management system, from SAP, from the PLM system, from the engineering system, construction, software engineering, and also from your CCMS. And in each of those systems, you need a different set of metadata. In the component content management system, you need the variant defining metadata. In the PIM or PLM system, you need the product metadata. And in the engineering systems, you need functions and features, for instance, as metadata. So there's no reason to get all this metadata into the CCMS, enrich your content, and then deliver it to the touch points. Instead, I can try to go forward. Instead, we suggest to actually take the metadata out of those systems. The originating systems are okay to have, and they are the sources of truth. But there should be a layer connecting all those systems and aggregating the metadata from those systems in a common semantic model. And this is what we call the digital information twin. So the digital information twin is the results of all those data coming from different systems, and it contains the following classes or categories of metadata. First and foremost, the product metadata. So which components do we have, product variants, features, functions, and properties. Then we need, of course, an information model for the technical documentation, but also for marketing content, service literature, and other content. And we need metadata that is required for content delivery. And we suggest that the digital information twin also knows where the content that this metadata refers to is located in the original systems. And I think the next is yours.
Yeah. Thanks. So this slide is more or less what you've seen in Carsten's talk and also the talk from Siemens, different authoring systems. And if iiRDS is used as a transport mechanism, and especially the metadata of iiRDS is used as a base schema for this digital information twin, for this knowledge graph, Carsten also is proposing, you can locate modular information in connections with product variants, methods, functions, and providing the base for delivering this information to various touch points. And this works fine. I mean, you've seen the examples, and iiRDS is a perfect transport mechanism as a package standard and also as a base for the metadata to transport the content from the authoring systems through a connected knowledge graph or digital information twin to the various touch points. And what we were thinking, okay, if it works this way, can it also go the other way around? I mean, we do have a knowledge graph, we do have a digital information twin providing all information about what can be documented, what has to be documented. Why not use the knowledge graph and why not use the iiRDS base scheme to deliver orders and requests for documentation back to the authoring systems? So to use the knowledge graph to identify the needs of documentation, the lack of documentation, and provide this information back to the authoring systems so the authors can focus on writing topics where the metadata is already included, and they don't start to, or they don't continue to write documents anymore. They get orders for information and they are able to just document this one. And Thomas Ziesing and his colleagues from Endresenhauser sitting in the audience together with Ulrike Parson, Empolis and Endresenhauser, we are implementing exactly this way at the moment.
And this is the example that we brought. If you are interested in a more detailed representation of this project, we did a presentation yesterday, and as they are all recorded, you can watch it later on, where we will show all the details. But this is exactly what we did there. We took the metadata out of the component content management system and are about to create a digital twin, information twin. And a digital information twin has two main categories of semantic models. The first is the information model. This is what you see here on the right side. These are the categories for the technical documentation at Endresenhauser, and they should be very familiar to you because they are what you also see in the standards for technical documentation, the categories for documentation along the life cycle phases like operation, maintenance, transport, commissioning, but also technical data or general safety advice. So this is a tree of categories, and the nodes in this tree, they carry metadata. And the metadata is basically information types, like is this a task, is this a concept or a reference topic, but also product-based, but more generic product-based, so product lifecycle phase and product function. The nodes do not carry information about product properties and variants, but more generic ones. So there is no connection to a specific product variant in this information tree. And each topic, we call them information unit because all this is iiRDS based, each topic belongs to one category of this tree and inherits all the metadata from the tree. And this, the tool is the Content Express from Empolis, and this is independent of the component content management system. And the second big semantic model here is the product model, and this holds information about the product variants, the product properties, the values for the properties, and in the end, how a specific product variant is configured. Here you see an example of a product that has an electrical connection and has a screw terminal in order to establish this electrical connection. And in this model, we mark the properties that actually define documentation variants. You know, I mean, you're all technical writers, you know whether a switch has a specific material for the housing that creates a product variant, or if you have a shaft or a pipe that is longer or shorter, that also creates a documentation variant because you need other instructions to assemble that, for instance. So we mark those in the product model. And all this is mapped to iiRDS, but the source of truth for this is the product information system. So this metadata does not come from the authoring world, but from the product world. And now we link those two, and to link the information model, these are the blue nodes on the left, and the red nodes from the product model, we use the product features or product functions. And a product function is like an abstraction layer above, where we say, okay, if a product has a switch, it can do the function to switch something on or off. But how the switch, which material it has or which size it has, is not important for the generic function switching on or off. So, and we assign the product functions to the nodes of the information model, and then we can, once we have a specific product configuration, we can actually go via the product functions and search for all the topics that describe this product functions. And thus we're able to retrieve all the topics that are relevant for this product configuration. So this is how those two models work together.
Yeah, and probably just one short remark. When Ulrike talks about we, actually the colleagues from Andresenhausen are meant, because they are the domain experts, they know the product functions, and they are able to establish this knowledge graph and to establish all the connections. And at least a short demonstration about how it actually works. This kind of generating information product.
Ist noch nicht zu sehen.
Ah.
Ist der Stecker raus? We are at war with the electronics today.
Sorry?
This one? Do you need that?
Nee.
No?
No, I don't need
Bist
a
du aus der
network.
Präsentation rausgegangen?
Ja, klar bin ich aus der Präsentation. Okay.
Yes.
More or less. Okay. Just a short example about how it works. What Ulrike has talked about a few minutes ago. To create an order, to create an information product, we are using a web-based wizard, and we are, let's just give it a name. And what you can see now is this information structure Ulrike was talking about. We could also use information product templates, but for this example, I would say, okay, I want to give a short, I would like to have something about the firmware history or the device information, or also some measuring system.
So the thought or the idea behind that is while products are being developed, you know you have a new product, and the product manager asks you to start documenting the product. Can you please write the chapters about installation or about monitoring or error logging or something like that?
Yeah. I can assign product functions, or I can say, okay, please, I would like to have it for the full product variant. And what's happening now is
So and the graph knows now the product, the graph knows which information, parts of the information structure or model you want to document, and now it goes to the content repository and searches all applicable topics.
Yeah. And the idea is to try to identify existing topics, matching all the needs, all the metadata already there, which can immediately used for the information product, and it's also there to identify missing pieces. And what you can see here, if this mouse would work. Oh.
And for the missing pieces, so you find existing content that is already there for this product variant, but you can also identify missing content, which should be there according to both models. So when you go to the editorial order, as we call that right now, you get empty topics or stubs for the content that is missing. And all this is transferred to your component content management system. So rather at the end of configuring your project,
Yeah.
and then you can start writing.
Yeah, what you can see now for this kind of information product we want to generate, there are already 2 topics available, still in preparation, but anyway, they are here. You don't have to write it again, and we generated 3 new topics because this information is missing, and now we can send a request for content to the authoring system with all the metadata already connected to the topic, and just to create an order for the technical authors and to tell them what's still missing. And that's how we try to use iiRDS-based metadata. That's how we try to use the established way from the authoring system to the digital information twin and the touch points, where we try to add a way back from the information twin to the authoring system.
That also means you need some new roles. You have, of course, the people who are writing the content, but you also have the people setting up those models, both the information model and the product model. And that means we have a new role of information architects coming up, and this is something that, in our opinion, will be required in most companies in the future. People who are able to actually define those metadata models and maintain them. And that was it. Thank you.